versus Daniel Towns and State versus Brian.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Nikki Arbiter on behalf of the state.
Thank you very much. As you're aware, Ms. Prosecutor, Mr. Glansberg, on behalf of the defendants, has filed a petition for return of property. He cites in the petition that the state confiscated and is still in possession of 5 separate items identified. I guess there's a evidence number because they're identified in the petition as CM01, which is one black GoPro camera, CM02, one black Canon Vixia HFR80, CM03 is one black iPhone with rubber case, CM04, one blue Android phone with red case.
That's mine.
And item CM05 identified as one black iPhone. He has cited cases. The case that he cited to the court in the petition is State versus Pratt. Again, the site is 90
U.S. versus Pratt.
3D 266, a 2019 case, and Mr. Glansberg has already also referred to and cited a couple of cases, including State versus Mitchell, which are included in the body of that decision. And do you have any case law that you want me to review, or are you going to just make an argument against return of the property in the face of those cases?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just going to make a verbal.
Okay. Mr. Glansberg is indicating that those cases provide that the property should be returned under the circumstances, and I'll certainly listen to the counter argument.
Judge, would you like me to argue first, or?
Yeah, if you want to just outline exactly your...
Outline my argument on the record, sure. My argument is very simple, Judge. My clients were arrested, and we allege unconstitutionally on March 21st of 2020. As a result of that arrest, the government confiscated the items outlined in my petition. They are not contraband. They are not evidence. The state has requested my clients provide passwords, which we have refused to do. This is 9 months ago. The state has not sought a search for that information. Therefore, the only assumption 9 months after is that they don't intend to use it and they're just holding it. Therefore, we're entitled to it back. And if you look at Pratt and the other cases in there, they talk about 21 days. They talk about under a month.
35 gets your shit back. 35 is too much.
Absolutely nothing.
It was March, so this would be 10 months now.
10 months. Math was never a strong suit. Like 10 months. They're talking days. We're talking months here. There's no reason for it. It's not our obligation to provide them passwords. It is not our obligation to help them prosecute themselves. Return property. There's no reason for them to have it at this point. It's not contraband. I'm not asking for them to return a kilo of cocaine.
And in response, Ms. Prosecutor?
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state doesn't intend to use the evidence.
Yeah, he did good. He did real good.
The testimony of the officers and whatever videos that we have with regard to body cams, the state police that were provided to Mr. Glansberg will be used at the time of trial. The state's concern, quite frankly, in this case, is simply because the defendants, and the reason why we're here today is because the defendants attempted to videotape and basically breach the security of the Salem County Jail.
No, we didn't.
The concern of the state police why they didn't want to turn it over. They wanted passwords, not simply to use it as evidence, but basically to make sure that the videos are not displayed publicly, so that we're violating security protocols at the jail. That is why they were told to stop. They were told to stop videoing. They refused to do it. They refused to leave the property, and that's why we're here today.
May I respond briefly to that? Very simply, my clients are reporters. They went into the prison as part of the reporting. They were told they can't be there. They turned around and left. They crossed the street. They then walked about a half a mile away to a bus stop. They were stopped at the bus stop. And because they refused to give their names and show identification, a lieutenant who was off duty after speaking with the warden, and the warden didn't even want to prosecute this case. They said, unless they give me an ID, I'm locking them up. And that's exactly what he did. Now, if you're saying about the security of Salem County, come on. I can go on Google Earth and find out more about Salem County. There's nothing in the entranceway to Salem County Jail, because I've been there, and I'm sure you guys have. There's a security risk here. And anything outside of the perimeter of the prison, because you can only go in the front door and out. You can't go around the grounds. Anything else can be seen from Google Earth. So that is a specious argument to give this court for not returning iPhones and cameras at this point. And if it was such a high security risk, they should have gotten a search warrant. They should have done something. There's nothing. They want to just be a nuisance to my client. Like this cases, but that's besides the point.
Ms. Trump, for instance, if we had had a trial on these matters, say today, and even if the defendants were found guilty, what would the state be in regard to the continued retention of these items?
The state would be requesting that we are at least able to destroy the video of the jail, to provide the passwords, destroy the video of the inside of the prison. You can't use Google Earth to get information about the inside of a jail. And these are cameras that were videoing the inside of the jail. No matter how much of it or how little of it, it was still the inside of the jail.
But the argument from the defendant is that if there is a serious concern from the state about this security issue, to confirm that there's something there, and then make an argument that it should remain in the property of the state, wouldn't something have had to have been done by now? I mean, I did read the State versus Pratt case, and it is very concerned with the expediency with regard to retention of defendant's property. It's been 10 months, and if there's an allegation that there's something contained in the property that's being held that is somehow detrimental to security, it should have been fleshed out by now, I would think, either, with an application for a search warrant within the first, month that the property was retained. Then it could have been, if the search warrant was granted, the information could have been reviewed. If the state was satisfied that there was some type of security issue that existed, then the appropriate application could have been made. But here we are 10 months later, and we're somewhat speculating as to what may or may not be on those devices, and whether or not it actually possesses or poses some type of security problem.
Correct. And I can't disagree with that. And quite honestly, I don't know what the state police's intention were, why they didn't get the warrant. I understand that they attempted to get the password. Mr. Glamberg at first refused to actually say yes or no. I had emailed Mr. Glamberg a couple of times asking for the password, and he didn't respond to those initial emails. Ultimately, he did. It had been months later. And then I think the state police just didn't take any further action on it, to be quite honest.
Understood. All right. I did read the cases that are cited by defense counsel. I'm satisfied that they're on point, at least on point enough for me to grant the petition in order that the property be returned. The cases that are cited are somewhat on point. They don't argue that there's a security issue. I guess that's the little rub, the little difference in this particular case. But I don't think that the state can simply continue to sit on these items without doing something more. I do think that since now 10 months have elapsed and nothing has progressed, that the defendants under these circumstances are entitled to return of that property pursuant to the direction of the court in State versus Pratt and the other cases cited therein.
Thank you, Hunter. How does my client go about getting this property back then? Where is it? We don't even know where it is.
The prosecutor, is that with the state police?
I believe it is. I will talk to them what the proper procedure is. My guess is, in light of various issues, that perhaps Mr. Glansman or somebody from his office can come get it. I think that would be the more appropriate way of dealing with this.
To expedite that process, or to give something that will make the state police comfortable, if you could reduce my determination down to a concise order, not too wordy, indicating that your petition to return that property was granted, I could sign that so that there would be no gray area with regard to the
You want
state.
me to prepare the order, Judge?
If you could, that would be good.
Well, let me ask you, I can even make it even simpler. I would ask, and if Your Honor would allow, can the property, since there are only cameras and an iPhone, be dropped off at the court and I can pick it up at the court? That way I don't have to deal with the police. My clients don't have to deal with the police, and my clients can go to the courthouse and pick it up.
The order of proximity, the prosecutor can respond.
I would prefer that it would be either Mr. Glansman or somebody from
Prefer.
his office picking it up, regardless of where the location is.
That's fine. I'll arrange somebody from my.
I think it's probably prudent to go to where it is being held as evidence. That way, if there's a contention that there's somehow a tampering or damage or something to those items, that it was not done in transport.
No problem. If you can just, I don't know where to go. You can just contact.
It will be the Woodstown State Police Barracks. I will need a name of the individual
Wow.
picking it up so that I can notify the state police that it will be that specific person that they're turning it over to.
Woodstown State Police Barracks, and where are they located?
I can tell them that.
769 Route 40,
Yeah.
Isles Grove.
One more time.
Isles, Piles Grove.
Isles Grove, Jersey. Okay. I'm sure I can find it from there. I'll get you the order out probably, if not today, it'll be on Tuesday when my secretary gets back. I'll send it to you, Nikki, to see if you have any problems. And I did send you that case you and I had spoken about. You can take a look. Maybe we can have some further discussions about this.
Okay, thank you, counsel. In the order,
And thank you very much, everybody.
if you can indicate in the order the person that will be picking it up so that there won't be any, again, issue with regard to the
Wow.
appropriate person.
Okay, I have to find somebody to do that. Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll wait for
Me or myself, I don't know.
Mr. Trump will have an opportunity, obviously, to review. If there's no objection voiced to the proposed order, I'll simply execute it as soon as it's in my hands and get it back to you for process.
Do you mind me emailing it down or faxing it down to you, Judge?
It would first go to Ms. Trunk.
Right, of course.
Yeah, and if you can carbon copy me on it, that'd be fine.
Very well. Thank you very much. Have a good day, everybody.
You have a nice day.
Bye-bye.